Is Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom going to be ready by its December 2023 release date? Considering how many times it's been reshot, we'd certainly hope so. With the cancellation of Batgirl, an uncertain future following the hiring of James Gunn and Peter Safran as co-heads of DC Studios, and a year-long string of bombs in the record books for 2023, there are only 2 more films for fans to look forward to before Gunn leads a reboot of the universe with Superman Legacy in 2025. Aside from Blue Beetle, which premieres on August 18th, there's Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. And right now, it's set to be a major Christmas season tentpole for the studio on December 20th. The production of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom has been fraught with shakeups, which has ultimately resulted in 3 sets of reshoots. From executive changes to differing expectations from DC's higher-ups to negative test screenings, there have been a number of delays that have resulted in the film's release being pushed back from December 2022 to December 2023. But a fresh set of reshoots have the studio optimistic that things might turn out well after all.
Tides are changing. It's important, the tides are changing.
Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom has been in the works for so long that it has managed to survive through 3 regime changes at DC Studios. Naturally, that means each set of execs wanted different things from the property. The sequel was greenlit by Toby Emmerich, former head of the Warner Brothers film department, while principal shooting was overseen by Walter Hamada, who served as the head of DC Films under Emmerich. Both men departed as the film was undergoing test screenings. Those test screenings resulted in 2 sets of reshoots greenlit by Emmerich and Hamada's replacements, Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdy, as well as new Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav. The Hollywood Reporter noted that Abdy in particular was hands-on with the sequel and oversaw a new cut. However, her version did even worse with test audiences than the Hamada one. When James Gunn and Peter Safran entered the picture, a 3rd set of reshoots were greenlit, which spanned 5 days and apparently pleased all involved. Unsurprisingly, each set of executives wanted something unique from the material that each previous cut didn't have. For instance, Hamada wanted to use Michael Keaton's version of Bruce Wayne not just in the second Aquaman film, but across DC's slate of movies as a sort of guide and leader for the younger generation of heroes.
What's the play? Batman, what do we do?
We try not to die.
Unfortunately, the ever-shifting quicksand of DC films resulted in a skewed timeline. Under the Michael DeLuca and Pamela Abdy regime, reshoots involving Ben Affleck's take on Batman were filmed to make it more harmonious with its place in the extended DC world. However, it appears that none of this material will make it into the final version of the film, as James Gunn and Peter Safran didn't want to build a story promising the continuation of a universe that's set to be officially abandoned.
This world must die.
While that means a lot of the film's original plot has been changed, at least those missing moments might make for fun deleted scenes. But when you add these internal conflicts to the burden already shouldered by overworked VFX houses, you end up with a movie that keeps getting pushed back from its original debut date. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom has also been shaped by repeated sets of test screenings. Several of these screenings have resulted in audience displeasure, with story clarity being an ongoing concern. This sent the show's producers and executives back to the drawing board to bring the best possible Aquaman sequel to life. The end result is several cuts of the film making their way into the editing process. The magazine declared that the latest set of reshoots, greenlit by James Gunn and Peter Safran, went extremely well. Reportedly, the reshoots only took 4 days instead of the 5 scheduled, and seemed to have finally gelled the film into what Warner Brothers wants it to be. There is no word as to what's been changed in the final cut of the movie, but at least this winter, DC fans will finally get to find out what all the fuss was about.